In 1988, the world was captivated by Amelia Blake, not just because she was one of the youngest female bush pilots certified to fly solo across Africa's most treacherous skies, but because of the sheer eccentricity of her life. A former zoologist turned aviator, known for traveling with an African lion she'd rescued from poachers and raised since it was a cub, whom she named Solomon, and who accompanied her on dozens of flights across the Congo Basin, the Sahara, and the Ethiopian highlands, earning them the nickname the Queen and her King of the Skies, a duo that regularly appeared in travel magazines and documentaries. But on October 3, 1988, Amelia took off from a remote airstrip near Chad, en route to deliver medical supplies and animal vaccines to a nature reserve near the Congo-Uganda border, with Solomon beside her, as always, and then vanished mid-flight without a mayday call, crash signal, or radar anomaly. Search crews spent weeks scouring hundreds of miles of jungle and savanna, finding no wreckage, no fuel slicks, no debris, and no trace of her or the lion. And though some speculated engine failure, hijacking, or navigational error, none explained the total disappearance of a large bush plane and 2 living beings, nor the static heard for 11 seconds on the emergency frequency, during which a voice whispered, "They are watching the lion now," followed by silence. Years passed, and theories range from UFO abduction to illegal poaching conspiracies, until her case became a legend among aviators and cryptozoologists alike, especially because Solomon was a rare Barbary lion, officially extinct in the wild by 1960, and yet recent tribal reports in the early 2000s spoke of a lone lion with human eyes roaming highland plateaus where no lions had been seen in decades. Then, in 2008, exactly 20 years later, a geological survey team using satellite imaging to map erosion patterns in a remote Angolan corridor detected the outline of a possible aircraft under tree canopy, partially buried near an unmarked plateau. And when they hiked in, they found what no one expected: Amelia's bush plane, rusted and cracked but eerily intact, resting against a stone outcropping like it had been gently placed there, and not a crash site in sight. No snapped trees, no bane marks, no broken ground. Inside the cockpit were her pilot's logbook, mostly destroyed, but a few pages legible, showing last entries like "They are walking below us now." Not human. Solomon sees them too, and the air isn't right. The sky ripples like water. We may not be in the sky anymore. And shockingly, a preserved photo of her and the lion, taken inside the cockpit, dated 2 days after she vanished, with no explanation of who took the photo or how it was developed. The cabin was full of claw marks, not from the lion, but from something larger and weirder, 5-fingered, elongated, some on the ceiling. And an open hatch in the cargo bay led into a sinkhole beneath the wreckage. A vertical tunnel bored unnaturally smooth into the ground. The team, unnerved but curious, sent a small drone into the pit, which lost signal 14 minutes in, but transmitted a few final images before blacking out. Bones, human, animal, unidentifiable, spiraling in a pattern along the walls, and what appeared to be a circular metallic structure, half-buried, pulsing with light and covered in symbols that matched none of Earth's known scripts. Soon after, 2 of the team members began experiencing vivid dreams of Amelia standing barefoot in the jungle, holding Solomon by the manner, her eyes glowing silver, whispering warnings in a language they could not understand yet somehow knew meant, "Don't open the ring." And within a week, one of those team members went missing, last seen entering the jungle at night, barefoot, without gear, muttering he's still watching the lion. When international officials were brought in, the site was declared a restricted anomaly zone, sealed, and the public informed only that a Cold War aircraft was recovered with no human remains. But leaks revealed that biological samples taken from the lion's claw marks carried DNA signatures with partial human compatibility and unidentifiable sequences, implying either mutation, hybridization, or something more horrifying. Rumors swirled that Amelia had discovered something ancient, not of this world, possibly a natural portal or dimensional fracture camouflaged in remote terrain, and that the lion may have been the only reason she survived as long as she did. Possibly even acting as a barrier between her and the entity she described in her logbook as the tall ones without names. To this day, her story remains the subject of countless documentaries, podcasts, and shadowy intelligence files. But among old bush pilots and trackers, the legend is told simply that the Queen of the Skies found something meant to stay hidden, that her lion never aged, and that on misty mornings near that forgotten plateau, a pilot's voice sometimes echoes across the savannah, warning others not to fly too low, or they'll see you too.